right even if you're wrong? I'll call you on it, Jim. We have principles. We have character. We have due process. Yeah. We have evidence. Evidence. Wow. Ever since that meeting with the South African president, which I did watch, and I saw the video and the piles of paper that Trump was flashing and saying, this is evidence, this is evidence. Look what's happening here. Dim the lights. We want to see this movie clip. And now we are learning today in an article put out by, here to play the devil's advocate just for a bit. The source is ABC News, mainstream media. Fake news if you're Trump. Fake news if you're on the far right, an independent media follower. You would say that mainstream media cannot tell the truth. So should I believe that this article, Trump showed old videos, took the crosses out of context in the South African genocide claims? And this is an article by Lizzie Tom and Ellie Kaufman on the ABC website. I can put a link in the description. But the bottom line is that all of this stuff was from 2020.
And there was 2 farmers killed.
Yes.
Not 1,000. And that was...
Somebody actually died is the kernel of truth around which Trump wrapped an enormous toilet paper roll full of boop.
Well, and who's advising Trump? Like, why are they so afraid? This guy is the most dangerous man in the world. And I said that last run. Well, that guy is the most dangerous man that's walked on the earth.
So who are the advisors? Well, Stephen Miller is the racist, so-called Jewish fellow, but he's supposed to be, his parents disown him. Elon Musk, white South African, is he involved in this?
Oh, definitely. Look at him there.
I heard that there are some 40,000 white Afrikaners trying to get expedited passage and citizenship to the United States.
But look at Trump using this with the president of another country, or the prime minister. I don't know what he is.
Yeah, black president.
Black president of another country. There with his other dignitaries. I think there's 3 of them, all white. One of them being from the opposition party of the South African government.
And Minister of Agriculture.
Who he's made Minister of Agriculture. That's how government should work.
Yes.
If the guy's good at his job, I don't care what party he's on, make him the minister.
There we go.
And there they are there. And Trump wouldn't let them just simply tell him, we don't know anything about what you're showing us here. And the agriculture minister going, we're not having a problem with, there's murders everywhere, just like in America.
Yes, the crime rate in general is pretty high in South Africa. The murder rate is pretty high in South Africa.
But
is it a genocide of farmers?
Most of them were black, he said.
Yes.
Most of them were black.
But most of the farms are now controlled by black farmers.
Well, there you go. So where's the genocide?
Well, this is the thing. So be careful when you use the word genocide and what it means. So this one, again, ABC News.
But if it's true genocide, I'm sorry, I can't let it go right now, because maybe there is. Maybe there is. But if there is, why isn't there true footage? Why are you making up footage?
Yes, why are you portraying?
If there's true genocide, where is it?
Where's your reporter?
Why are you making 5-year-old videos of something that really isn't genocide at all? It was murder, but it wasn't genocide.
So the truth seems to be that in the reality, this is a quote from the ABC article, in reality, the video shows a protest that took place in 2020, September 5th, near, and I don't know the name of this town, Normandian, South Africa. The protest was called over a reported murder of 2 farmers. It doesn't say white or black. Days earlier in the area, according to the local outlet, Newcastle Advertiser is the name of that news source. According to the outlet, the crosses were placed along a section of the protest route by volunteers. So here we go. Are they marking the human graves of people who've been buried at the side of the road?
That was a lie.
It was all a lie.
Yeah, there's because, well, number one, there wasn't 1,000. There was 2. And as you said, it doesn't even mention the color of those 2. They may have been white. I have no idea. But it's not a genocide.
No.
And it's a made-up story. And if there is a genocide, show the genocide. Show that. You got pictures of Rwanda.
Yep.
You can see that where there's 900,000 people killed by their own people.
By their own, yeah.
Yeah. So you can. There are footage of all of that. Why would you bring up something that's not true?
Yes.
That's because you're a liar. That's because you are a liar.
Are we-
and you wanted to belittle the president of another country, just like he did to Canada, just like he did to Ukraine.
Are we becoming tone deaf to the lies? In other words, it just hits us and we say, not another one. What now?
We
What's
are, yeah,
this time?
we are being tone
And
deaf.
so we're not reacting the way we need to, which is what those, I'm going to say it was MSNBC, but I don't know what the reporters were, who were called out by Trump. He chastised them, embarrassed them, called them out by name, saying, "You're fake, you're the worst, you're not even intelligent enough to be a reporter. Go back to your studios."
Is that really a human being you want to like and associate with?
And he is in the Oval Office
And
hosting.
because he will kill you
Yes.
in one way or another. He'll do it. That's the way he is. You agree with me, oh Fuhrer, or you die. Either economically, physically, or whatever. He is a tyrant, Terry. The man is a tyrant, and he can pretend to be nice. And some comedians will say, I met with him, and he was a nice guy, and he laughed. He's a tyrant. Once you get his hair up, he would gas you.
Yes.
I'm telling you, he would. We're probably going to get kicked off the show.
That's not flatulence. You're talking about gases. You're talking about something else. Yeah, it's to me, I never want to be desensitized to the reality of things that are bad. So Trump telling lie after lie after lie, and nobody except these reporters will not be invited back. I'm pretty sure of it. So who's going to replace them?
Only those who bow the knee.
So you're
and
going to
kiss
get
the
OAN and
ring.
Newsmax in there. You're going to get Charlie Kirk in there.
Yeah.
You're going to get some of the other far right.
Well, that's what he wants.
That's all he wants. So the yes men.
Yeah, the yes men.
Softball questions. Just agree with Trump and say, "Oh, that was a very
Well, you know, they
interesting."
passed this big, beautiful bill, eh? So how did they do that? How did they do that?
Who does-
Where were those holdouts?
Yes.
What happened to them? It's just like Lawrence said. They'll give in. They always do.
Yep, they always do.
Yeah.
The Republican Party is a party that has lost its soul.
Well, it's not a Republican Party.
It's not.
It is mega, and the sad thing is they've lost their soul, and I'm sorry, even the most righteous of them, I got a bad taste in my mouth. Let's say for you, because it's the same thing. It's the lie. You cannot. What am I suggesting you do? I don't care if you're making $300,000 a year. Quit.
Vote
Be
with
poor.
your feet. That's
Be
what we
poor.
used to always say. Vote with your feet.
What would Jesus do?
Oh,
Do that.
WWJD, throw
Don't
that
have
one
a
out.
place to lay your head if that's what it takes. But get away from that man.
Yep.
Get away from him. Run from him.
Well, let's
He's
link
cruel.
Let's link it back to a comment you said that it's GOP is not the Republican Party anymore, and it hasn't been probably since Reagan. I raised this in looking at the Canadian election and wondering, after 4 electoral defeats, the Conservative Party is perhaps not the Conservative Party. Perhaps they have moved. I know they've accused the Liberals of going too far left. I'm wondering whether the Conservative Party of Canada, CPC, under Pierre Poilievre has moved too far to the right, and it's no longer a centrist party. And Canadians are still mostly centrist.
That's why I think Carney did so well, Terry.
I think so.
I do. A few years back, I started getting concerned about the Conservative Party, and I boldly said for the most part of my life I'm conservative. But they did start going a little bit too left when they started to embrace the attitude of what was once the Republican Party. That attitude became, again, cruel, became vicious, and they're following a man who will destroy anybody he can if you get in his way. And if you have to rule by destroying everybody, you've lost democracy. You've lost the country.
Well,
I'm sorry, it's gone.
Poilievre lost his own writing, and that should be a strong messaging to the party.
I told you, he backed the wrong horse. Mm-hmm. He just should have shut up.
Yep.
He probably would have won the election if he just had been a conservative.
Yes.
But he did a
traditional conservative.
He did politics the way the Americans do it. And remember when that first started?
Yep.
We were appalled.
Yep.
Even our conservatives were appalled. Everybody was appalled at the way Americans started to tear down the individual as opposed to just
Or Trump in
being
Saudi
polite.
Arabia on his Middle Eastern tour, tearing down America in the presence of foreign powers.
Oh, yeah. Showing real weakness, thinking he's strong. They're laughing. They're just
boy.
laughing.
America.
And the debugging of that plane is going to cost Americans $1 billion.
The Jim and Terry Show. More to talk about. Bye-bye for now.
Yeah.